everyone, this is Andrew here. We're going to be making a very simple quest reward system in Minecraft. First thing we need to do is we need to find out the location for where the player needs to stand to receive their reward. So to do that, you need to stand in a specific spot. Any spot on your map will work. This is just so for our purposes so we know what the coordinates are going to be. If you hit F3, it'll show you all the information. Okay, so let's see. The X is -1088. Y is 57. And the Z is 474. All right. Let's mark that spot here. I'm just gonna surround it. So when a player is playing this quest map, if they have completed a certain number of kills, they can stand in the center of this little spot here, and the game will automatically reward them with whatever you decide to give them. So this is a very, very easy to set up command system. So here are command blocks. If you don't know how to give yourself command blocks, it is give (137). Yeah, there you go. Give 137. Your username. You could do also @p. Who cares? Now I'll give you a command block in case you need to use it. If you can't use it on your server, you need to do that will opt you so that you can use command blocks. Alright, so this will be our controller. This here will control how that functions. We're going to type into here test for nearest player, that's @p, and then score mob kills. We're going to set that up in a minute. Hang on. Minimum equal 10, comma, r equals 1, which means the radius of one block from within these coordinates. X equals, what did we have? It was 1088. Y is 57. Z is 474. There we go. So what this code will do is that this command block, when a redstone power goes into it, it will test to see the nearest player that has a score, a minimum mob kills of at least 10, and within a radius of one block of these coordinates. And that coordinates is, as you remember, that spot over here where we had found earlier. Now, that's going to control everything. I guess at first we should also just really easily set up how to start the whole thing in the first place. I guess if you can't start the game, it's not going to work. All right. So redstone repeaters, 1, 2, 3. Command block 1, 2, 3. You don't have to do this with a command block. You can actually just enter these codes into normal commands, but I just find it's easier for the maps if you have like multiple quests and stuff, to just be able to kind of start up with one button press instead of having to retype everything over and over again. This is a very easy way to do that. So the first thing we're going to do, this is our startup commands. Scoreboard. If I can type today. Objectives. Add. Mob kills. This is the name of our objective. This has to, it requires capitals and lowercases to be exact. You have to do this exact every single time. So just be very careful with whatever you name. You can name it anything you want. You could call it like souls or points or deaths, kills, whatever. I'm just going to call it mob kills just because that to me makes more sense. It's because I'm killing the mobs in the game. And then total kill count. This is actually Minecraft's command. This actually counts how many mobs are killed per player. And then we're going to display this as mob kills. Now that last bit there, mob kills with the underscore, that's going to be displayed on the far right hand side of my screen. This is just so people can see what the score is. You can have it be anything. Again, it's the same thing as mob kills in the middle here. We're just going to call it mob underscore kills. So that sets the objective. This one sets where it's located, how it's going to be displayed. So scoreboard, objectives, set display, sidebar, mob kills. Now you can do it on the sidebar. You can have it also be under the player's name. So when you're wandering around with other players, underneath their name tag, there will actually be like mob kills and how many they've killed. Or you can also have it displayed on a list, where if you hit tab, it will show you all the people who are operating on the server at that time. I like to have it on the right hand side of the screen, so that's why I did it as sidebar. And then finally, the scoreboard won't actually show up until you've given yourself at least one kill. So this is just kind of a way to prime it. Scoreboard, players, add P mob kills 1. There we go. So now when we hit this button, only one thing worked. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Set a score for the players. There we go. So as you can see over there in the right hand corner now, there is mob kills, and it says I have gotten 1 because I've programmed it into here to do it. If I did that again, see, it went up to 2, went up to 3, and each time it's doing that, it's resetting everything. You don't really need any of this stuff anymore. This is just to set things up. Going back to here though, this is our, like I said, this is our main test command block. And this tests for the nearest player with a score of minimum of 10 within the space located over here on that little iron block. Now, when this gets a redstone signal and it checks for if it determines that all those conditions are met, it will output a redstone signal through a capacitor. Now, unfortunately, it will only go one space, so we need to add a repeater to keep that going. And then here we can break it up. We're going to break this up into 3 commands. And this will be the way the game rewards the player. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So when this gets a redstone signal, it will check for all this information. If all this is correct, it will export a redstone signal again out this way. And that redstone signal will be broken up into these 3, excuse me, these 3 commands. And the first command is going to be rewarding the player. So the first thing we're going to do is let's give us 10 XP. XP 10. L is for levels. If it's a lowercase l next to the number, it'll give you a full level instead of just points. At player. And again, unfortunately, you have to enter this command into every single one of these because it needs to check for the player at that specific location. If you don't have that specific location written into the commands, if some other player comes along and is closer than you are, they will get the reward rather than you, and that's no fun. Nobody wants that. So within a radius of 1 block, x equals negative 1088, y equals 57, z equals 474, close. So the first command gives us a reward. The second command will now take away the points. So this is sort of your form of payment. scoreboard, players, remove, and then it has to look for the player. So at p r equals 1, x equals negative 1088, y equals 57, z equals 474. And then mob kills 10. So what this command does is, for if you have 10 points, it will take the 10 points away. And this one, like we saw before, will give you 10 experience points. So you're basically getting 10 experience points for every 10 mobs that you kill. That's actually incredibly generous, but this is just a test. You can have it give you anything. You can have it give you diamonds or loot or armor or weapons or health, or whatever you want can be put into here. For our purposes here, this is just going to be through experience points. And then finally, this is a little tricky one. You have to turn this off just a little bit out of sync from everything else. And this is a teleport number. Teleport player located at x equals negative 1088, y equals 57, z equals 474. Now what this is doing is this is going to teleport a player within this location to another location. And we're only going to move you by 1 block. So we're going to do negative 1087, 57, 474. And the reason we do this is because we're going to have a redstone clock. And this redstone clock is going to be sending a signal to this tester. And this is the tester that's checking for all the coordinates and conditions required for a player being on that spot. Now, if the player just stands on that spot while the signal keeps going through without this command, then your kills are just going to drop and it's just going to keep disappearing. And you're going to be getting tons of experience points, but your kills will also just keep going down. What this will do is this will teleport the player 1 block away, and since all of these commands are set up for 1 block radius, you're no longer within the radius for these things, and you won't get any more points and experience or any of that stuff. It basically stops everything from happening. Yep. Let's set the time back to day here. There we go. Alright, now we just need a redstone clock, and this whole thing should be pretty much set. A redstone clock is incredibly easy to set up. You just need iron configuration like this. Doesn't have to be iron, it can be anything. I just like using iron because it's easier to see the redstone. So we have a redstone torch, 1 block of dust there, and then a redstone repeater. Now if you'll notice, if you leave this thing going, it's just going to burn itself out. So this has to have a little bit of a delay. Anything beyond 2 will work. And then let's throw a switch on there and turn it on. There we go. See? And so this thing is going to constantly be pulsing a redstone signal. See that? Now, what this is doing is this is sending a redstone signal every few like half seconds to this command block. This command block is now checking for everything that we have written in here. It's checking to see where the player is located, what their score is, and if they're in that specific location. And then, if all those conditions are met, then these 3 will activate. Now, I don't think the conditions are gonna be met because we don't have 10 kills. So if I stand here, nothing's gonna happen. I'm still at 3. So we need to give ourselves, let's give ourselves 50. I'm just going to take these out because we don't really need these right now. There, I gave myself 50. Now, if all this works, as soon as I step on that little white spot, it should get that 53 should come down to 43, and my experience should go up to 501. Yep, 43. And my experience is, if this thing will go away, 501. There you go. And so I can keep going on here, and I can keep accepting payment. It's pushing me a little further off to the side than I expected. Let's just give a little bit more of a space down here. So, plunk. There we go, see? And then we can keep doing this until... See? Hit it again. And now I won't have enough. I only have 3, so if I stand here, nothing will happen. So there you go. This is a very, very simple little quest thing you can have. You can have like multiple of these just signed up in a row. You can have like 4 or 5 of them all connected to just one redstone clock here. If you're not using it, you can turn it off. You can still collect kills through mobs. If you kill mobs, your points will go up, and if you want to collect your reward, you can just go over and, or if you want to set it up for people to accept the rewards, you can just turn it back on, and then you can go back over here. Oh yeah, I don't have enough. Forgot, gotta give myself more. There we go. And then, boom, there we go. Now, if you wanted to do something a little different, if you wanted to give yourself a different item, I'm going to turn it off for a second. If you want to give yourself an item instead of giving you experience points, we can just take out this whole portion here, do the give command, the player at this location, and then an item. I'm not sure what kind of item I should use. How about 264, 1. There we go. I think that's a diamond. So I'm going to make a spot in my inventory here. So if I go over there, I should get a... oh, I didn't turn it on. See, nothing's happening because I didn't have the didn't turn the clock on. There we go. There we go. See, and I got a diamond. If I want it again, there you go. I think actually this is off center by like 1 block. I think that's why I'm having a little trouble here. Let's try this instead. There we go. Okay, yeah, I was just a little off center. That's why that was pushing me off to the side instead. Oh, can't do it anymore. But there you go. That's an easy way to give players specific items. Really, really easy to set up. Really, really easy to change. The only things you really need to know is the exact coordinates for where the player will receive it, and that can be found by hitting F3 and looking up here on the left-hand corner. You have your X, Y, and Z coordinates. You can see those change wherever I wander. All right, so there you go.